Once upon a time, Gautama Buddha and his followers were on a big journey through India. They traveled from place to place to teach people about being kind and finding peace in their hearts. One time, they came to a town during the rainy season. The roads were all muddy from the rain, and it was hard to walk. But they kept going because they wanted to help as many people as they could. Gautama Buddha saw how tough it was to travel during the rainy season. So, he made a new rule for his followers. Instead of moving to a new place every 2 days like they usually did, they could stay in one town for up to 2 months. This way, they could rest and be safe from the dangerous rain. But they should not stay in one house for more than 2 days, because it will be too much of a burden for the host. One day, Ananda, one of Buddha's disciples, went out to the town to gather alms. As he walked through the streets, a courtesan, known for her beauty and charm, approached him. She looked at Ananda, a tall and handsome young man, and offered him alms. Then, with a mischievous smile, she said to Ananda, "I hear that monks are looking for shelter in many homes. Why don't you come and stay in my house?" Ananda, taken aback by her boldness, replied, "I have no issue, but I must ask the Buddha where I should stay." The courtesan, intrigued and tauntingly said, "Oh, you're going to ask your guru? Go and ask him. Let's see what he says." Undeterred, Ananda collected what he had gathered for the day and went to the Buddha. He placed the offerings at the Buddha's feet and humbly asked, "This lady is inviting me. Can I stay there?" Gautama, with his serene wisdom, looked at Ananda and replied, "If she's inviting you with so much affection, you must go stay there." The townspeople, overhearing this conversation, were astonished. They murmured among themselves, "A monk? He's going to go stay in a prostitute's home? This is it. This spiritual process has become corrupt." Gautama, unperturbed by the gossip, looked at the crowd and said, "Why are you so worried? The lady is inviting him. Let him stay. What is the problem?" The townspeople began to protest, some even getting up and shouting in disbelief. Gautama, calm as ever, raised his hand for silence. He spoke firmly, "I am on this path because I see this is the most powerful way to live. Now you're telling me her ways are more powerful than my ways? If that is the truth, I will also go and join her." The crowd fell silent, stunned by Gautama's words. Ananda, with the Buddha's blessing, accepted the courtesan's invitation and went to stay in her home. During the monsoon season, the nights grew cold, and the courtesan, out of kindness, offered Ananda a soft silk wrap to keep warm. She prepared delicious meals for him, and Ananda gratefully partook of her hospitality. In the evenings, the courtesan, skilled in the art of dance, performed for Ananda. He sat, watching with utmost attention, appreciating her graceful movements and the beauty of the moment. When the monsoon season came to an end, and it was time for the monks to move on, Ananda returned to Gautama along with the female monk. The townspeople were surprised to see him accompanied by the female monk. Gautama continued, addressing the crowd. "Remember, the company you keep influences you. Surround yourself with good, and you will become good. But if you surround yourself with bad people, then you will become bad. Therefore, always keep good company." The crowd listened intently as Gautama Buddha continued. Ananda has returned unharmed, with his mind still focused on the path of righteousness. His stay with the courtesan was a test of his inner strength and his commitment to our teachings. As time passed, the courtesan who had welcomed Ananda into her home continued to be deeply moved by his unwavering kindness and the teachings he shared. She found herself drawn to the path of spirituality. inspired by the serenity and peace that seemed to emanate from Ananda and the Buddha's teachings. Her heart desires for a life with more meaning than the brief pleasures of the past. She approached Ananda one day, her eyes filled with newfound determination, and expressed her desire to join them on their journey as a Buddhist disciple. Ananda, moved by her sincerity and aware of the transformative power of genuine spiritual seeking, accepted her with open arms. She abandoned her previous life and put on the robes of a female monk, ready to begin a new chapter in her life dedicated to wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. The townspeople were shocked to see the former courtesan undergo such a profound transformation. They had seen her as a symbol of temptation and worldly desires, but now she stood before them as a living example of the transformative power of good company and genuine spiritual practice. Gautama Buddha addressed the crowd once more, highlighted the importance of surrounding oneself with positive influences. He taught them that the mind, like a garden, could be trained to produce either wholesome or unwholesome results. If we constantly expose ourselves to impure thoughts and actions, Gautama explained, our minds will become polluted, leading to suffering and confusion. However, by guarding our senses and choosing our company wisely, we can prevent the seeds of negativity from taking root. He continued, just as a lotus flower rises pure and untouched from the muddy waters, so too can our minds transcend the impurities of the world. It is up to us to cultivate mindfulness and discernment, steering our thoughts away from that which leads to harm. The townspeople listened attentively, their hearts and minds opening to the wisdom of Buddha's words. They began to understand that the path of purity of mind lay not in denial or suppression, but in the conscious choice of virtuous actions and associations. Gautama Buddha concluded, by practicing mindfulness and surrounding ourselves with good-hearted companions, we can purify our minds and sow the seeds of peace and joy. Let us strive to cultivate a garden of virtues within ourselves, nurturing compassion, wisdom, and loving kindness for the benefit of all beings. And so, the former courtesan, now a devoted female monk, joined Ananda and the other followers of the Buddha on their journey. Together, they walked the path of enlightenment, inspiring others with their example of transformation, compassion, and the boundless potential for inner growth. The town, once skeptical and judgmental, now embraced the teachings of the Buddha with newfound understanding and gratitude. In our everyday lives, we can learn from the story of Ananda, the lady who changed her life, and what Buddha taught. It is important to be with good people, those who are kind and helpful. They can encourage us to be better and make good choices. We can also try to think good thoughts and do good things, like being nice to others and helping when we can. This helps our minds feel happy and peaceful. Just like how the lady changed, we can try to understand people without judging them. We should try to see the good in everyone. When life gets tough, we can be strong and stick to what we know is right. Taking time to be aware of our thoughts and actions, like when we walk or eat, can make us feel more calm and clear-headed. Finally, we can show kindness to others, making our world a better place for everyone. Following these simple ideas can bring more happiness and peace into our lives. As we finish our story about Ananda and the lady who changed her life, think about what you can do now. Can you do something kind today, like helping a friend or smiling at a stranger? Share your thoughts or stories in the comments below. Remember, even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Keep going on the path of goodness and happiness. If you want more stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.